So after almost 24 hours of traveling from Egypt, we are finally in Baku and the weather is perfect for us. So we only have 3 days in Azerbaijan and most of that's gonna be spent in Baku. But we're gonna kick things off with walking the F1 circuit here. Megan said it was #1 on her list to do.
What?
So we're gonna check that out.
So Baku is totally a city of old and new. As you can see behind me, they have the flame towers and then the cute, like, classic European culture. We've read lots of blogs online that say, oh my gosh, it's like so nice to be back in Asia, or oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in Europe. And for us, after spending 6 weeks in the Middle East, this definitely feels like Europe.
The last 3 weeks have been extremely hectic between between Jordan and Egypt. It's just been insane. Go, go, go. So our first day in Baku, we're just going to relax. We slept in today, which is a first. We've been up at 3 a.m. for a bunch of days in a row. And today we slept until 10. We're just gonna walk around Baku. We have no expectations, but so far it is a beautiful city with amazing parks and great architecture so far.
So for anybody who knows us, you know that we love our Tevas when we travel because they are the best adventure shoe. And unfortunately, over the last 6 months or so, ours have seen some struggles and they were starting to come apart, and we just found this little shoe repair place in Baku in the middle of a cute little street, and the man spoke no English, but he was so helpful and he fixed our shoes for us. He even gave my shoes like some stitches to reinforce them where they were not quite falling apart yet, but it was bound to happen. And he made Mike's look fresh and shiny and new and black again, and he was so nice, and he was a very proud grandpa, and we just liked looking at pictures of his grandchildren while we waited, and now we have fresh shoes. So everything that we have read online has said that we can cross the border into Georgia by taking an international bus, but you can only get to the border, then you have to cross by foot, and then you need to take a taxi to Tbilisi. But all of the locals are telling us that the border is closed since COVID and you cannot cross it. But about 20% of blogs that we've read have said people have crossed successfully. So instead of booking a flight for a few $100s, we are going to try to spend about $20 to cross the border, which is luck.
We got tickets to the border and they ended up asking for our passports, so that's a good sign. We're hopeful.
8 hours later and we have made it to the border. I hope we can cross.
1 hour to go.
I have never been so stressed at a border before.
For you, it was easy. For you, for
No,
me,
I was sweating.
I guess I've changed from my photo enough that the border guard made sure I had eye contact with him for like 5 minutes straight. We've arrived in Tbilisi.
We're in Georgia and we are so happy after a stressful border crossing. We are so glad that we booked this cute little log cabin. It feels a little bit like home, being back in Canada, being in a log cabin, and it's raining. And
Middle of the forest.
It's really pretty.
For once, the photos actually lived up to how it looks. It's actually better than how the photos look, which is a first probably for us.
And the owners also greeted us with homemade wine, so that's also a plus.
It's time to get into that.
Today we we were just gonna take our time and explore the capital city, try to see some markets, some hot springs, thermal bath things, see some parks. I don't really know what else, but we'll see what happens. So legend has it that the king of Georgia was out hunting one day and then shot a pheasant and couldn't find it and was out looking in the forest and stumbled upon a hot spring. And clearly he really liked it because he ended up moving the capital here, naming it Tbilisi, which translates to warm because of the sulfur springs. And now today, when you're touring around Georgia, you can go to these old bathhouses and have a little dip in a hot spring.
Thermal baths were a success. They were so hot.
Insanely hot. I have never experienced a hot pool or hot springs that hot. Like, I think it must have been at least 60 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, we could only spend maybe 5 minutes at a time.
So we're just getting ready to head out to wine country and leave the capital city, but we stopped by a market first to get some snacks for our bus ride.
We've got a whack of cherries and a loaf of bread, and I think it was about $2 Canadian total. So the bus system in Georgia, or in Tbilisi, is hilarious. It's a bunch of these small Ford Transits, and they just leave when they fill up, so you have to get here early to make sure you have a seat, and the minute they're full, you're off. Even though we're technically back in Europe now, the bus system definitely makes us feel like we're still in Asia. This one puppy has literally been following us for the last couple kilometers around town. She runs ahead a little bit, waits for us, and then continues on, showing us the way.
She's so cute.
Hopefully she gets us to the downtown center eventually. Second day in Georgia.
Georgian hospitality is next level.
We're sitting for dinner. It's a fairly fancy restaurant. It's quite nice.
We're underdressed.
And this gentleman comes up to us and asks us if we're American, Canadian. We say Canadian, and he gets really excited.
I love Canada.
Talking to us a little bit. He said, "Welcome to my country. Enjoy your meal." He goes, sits down with his friends, comes back maybe half an hour later because they're leaving, and says, once again, "Enjoy our country. Take care." And
another half an hour later,
we go to pay, and they picked up our bill. Maybe talk to this guy for a minute tops.
So nice.
It was amazing.
So we just had an incredible tour of a Georgian wine factory, and this is where they get most of their grapes from. All of their grapes are from this region, which is one of the oldest grape wine regions in the world. And the really cool thing about Georgian wine is that it is made and aged in these huge, massive clay pots that hold up to 2,000 liters of wine.
So now that we've done a factory tour, our guide today brought us to a family winery. So just small batch. We're in his house sampling the different wines. Completely different experience, but really amazing.